Hello everyone, I'm Vasa. Today I'm going to talk about the learnings from a silence retreat that I went to. Five key learnings for management consultants from my 10-day trip to the Art of Living Retreat Center in Montreal, Quebec, in Canada. Here I was fortunate enough to meet my guru, Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, for 25 times in a span of 10 days. For those who are followers of any spiritual person or even followers of maybe YouTube stars, just imagine meeting and being in the presence of a person for 25 times in a span of 10 days. It was a different experience altogether. The interesting part here was that I traveled with my 6-year-old son for this silent retreat. And here he is. Say hi. Okay. So he agreed to travel with me on the silence retreat, and he had one condition, a very simple one. He said, I want to travel by Via Rail, not car this time, but I want to travel by Via Rail. And I thought, for a loving father, that's an easy one to fulfill. So I said, okay, that's fine. And on the face of it, the decision also looked very great. We had traveled by car some time back, so we know that it takes some time to travel by car and it's a bit inconvenient. And on a snowy day, it becomes much more inconvenient. Flights could get cancelled. Overall, it worked out well. We said we'll go by train. At that very moment, someone gives me a ring and says, we're going by car. Do you want to accompany us? I politely declined in order to honor my earlier commitment with my son, and there was rationale behind why this is better. And so I went ahead with that decision. I even recommended many other people to use this mode of conveyance. I felt good that I was helping people to find their way to the destination. On the day of the trip, it snowed heavily. Cars took a lot more time to reach. Flights were cancelled. I asked people, many, including my mom, who is a trained art of living blesser, to bless those in need so that they could at least reach on time. At the same time, I felt good about my decision because my train reached in 5 hours. The first 9 days were blissful. We will talk about it another time. Let me jump to the incidents that led to the learning. 9 days later, that is one day before my return journey, I received an email that my train got cancelled because of a CN rail train derailment. 24 other trains got cancelled. The comfortable train journey for us was now ruled out. Buses for the next 4 days were full, absolutely full. Flight tickets were 500 plus. So for the two of us, it would be $1,000. Now we had to hunt for a car, something that we had resisted all this while. I smiled to myself with a gentle sense of realization that perhaps Gurudev is teaching me a few lessons. What were they? While I was thinking of this, I met a kind hearted couple and asked for help. They had two spots in the car. We were delighted. The only catch was that there was no space for luggage. Fortunately, decided to split the problem into two parts, like people and luggage. So we came in one car and our luggage came in another car. Very sweet of the other person to accept that offer as well. But we broke the problem into two parts. Interestingly, On our return journey, I met the same person at an en route plaza whose offer to travel by car I had declined initially. She mockingly smiled at me and said, Vasa, you're finally taking a car ride, aren't you? And we laughed aloud together. Now, these were my 5 key learnings from the simple incident of resisting a car travel. The first one, what you resist persists. I had to take the car in the end. I'll share my consulting journey. Before consulting, I'm an electronics and communications engineer. And I avoided electrical subjects. When I did my engineering, after that, my first job was at L&T Switchgears, which is a hardcore electromechanical product. I did my MBA and got into consulting. I thought now at least I won't have to study electrical engineering, especially after spending 3 years in L&T doing switchgears. My first job in consulting, believe it or not, was market assessment of high tension motors. Again, an electrical project. Finally, I decided let me learn electrical subjects really well, and I did that. But what I resisted persisted. The second is do not take excessive pride in your decisions. And this one is very important for consultants. You need to understand you are not the doer. As a consultant, what are you doing? You're facilitating, sometimes influencing, and always presenting insights objectively. What that means is you need to keep some distance from your decisions because it may be right, it may go wrong, and you need to be very objective about it. You must realize that you don't own them. And when you realize that, there it is when you can make the right decisions aligned to the outcomes that that organization is seeking or should be seeking. The third thing is remember when you are solving a problem, you're not alone, right? Somebody is watching you. Your guru, your mentor, your boss, your organization, everybody is watching you and everybody wants you to succeed. Have that mindset that people want you to succeed. You need to draw their attention when you face an issue. Have faith in the ecosystem to find a solution for you and leverage that. The fourth thing, very important, all problems have solution and you need to break the problems into parts. This is the fundamental principle of analysis. Here, people and luggage, we broke it into two parts. Consulting problems can be very daunting and therefore they come to you to solve problems. Remember, whatever analysis you do, they can have lasting implications on the organization, especially the people and other entities along the value chain and the entire ecosystem. So thorough analysis is a must. So first problem is break it into parts and analyze each important aspect. The last one, laugh together when you are made fun of. I'll tell you a real story. I heard this story about a senior partner of a reputed consulting firm who was called a buffoon, a clown, in front of his juniors by the client. He could have raised an alarm and referred to HR policies or gotten into legal entanglements. Instead, he laughed and lightened the moment. Can we learn something from that? Remember, remember this. A tree gets uprooted in a storm, but grass, because it's flexible, survives. So, 5 key learnings here. What resists, persists. Do not take excessive pride in your decisions. All problems have solutions, and there are people watching you and guiding you to give you that solution. You need to leverage the ecosystem and break your problem into parts. Laugh together when you're made fun of. These are the 5 learnings, and I urge you to look at all those small incidents, because these small incidents teach you a lot. And you can learn when you are aware and open to receive. Being in silence as a consultant really helps you to become more and more aware and in touch with yourself. And lastly, I would want to give gratitude to all the organizations that I have worked for giving me leaves and be in silence each year and delve with it. This is all I wanted to share with you before New Year. As I said, just reflect on the learning. If you like my videos, do click the like button. If you have any comments on how you are learning from from small incidents, put that in the comments below, or anything else that you would like to comment about. And if you think that this is what something that you want to learn, feel free to subscribe. Thank you.